Today, we're diving into the mind of someone who takes his childhood science fiction dreams and, well, tries to build them in the real world. We're talking about everything from tunnels under our cities to actual cities on other planets. We're talking about Elon Musk. I mean, it really sounds like something out of a movie, right? But one person is pouring his entire fortune into making it a reality, from the cars we drive to colonies on Mars. Okay, let's get into it. So, we all know Elon Musk, the guy behind Tesla and SpaceX. But the real scale of his vision is how all these companies aren't separate things. They're actually all pieces of a much, much larger puzzle, all designed to work together to build a very specific version of the future. All right, let's kick things off right here on the ground, or maybe a little bit under it, with how Musk is planning to completely upend the way we get from point A to point B. First up is an idea you've definitely heard about, but the real end goal is way more radical than you probably realize. He didn't actually create Tesla, but he invested a ton of money back in 2004. This was a time when electric cars were basically seen as glorified golf carts, because he was convinced they were the future. But here's the truly wild part. It's not just about a car that drives itself. It's about a car that literally evolves. I mean, just imagine waking up and your car has brand new features that were downloaded while you were asleep. The goal here is to basically turn your car into a smart device on wheels. Okay, but even a self-driving car is still just a car, step on a road. And Musk's next idea is all about tackling the roads themselves. He has a plan for traffic, a problem he finds personally infuriating, and it goes deep, deep underground. And that's his whole justification for starting the Boring Company. It's such a classic Musk move, right? A play on words, boring as in digging the tunnel, and boring as in, well, dull. And it's all to solve what he calls traffic hell by building this whole network of tunnels under major cities for high-speed autonomous travel. So if tunnels under our cities aren't quite enough for you, how about we just invent a brand new form of long-distance travel that could basically shrink the entire country? Now, while this is still pretty much a concept, the Hyperloop could totally revolutionize how we travel between cities like LA and San Francisco. This just shows you the scale of his thinking, right? It's not just about improving the car, it's about reinventing the entire system of how we move. So his vision for transportation is obviously massive, but his ambitions don't just stop with physical travel. They're also about connection, connecting the entire world and maybe, just maybe, connecting our own minds. Way, way up above us, he is building this huge commercial empire, and a key piece of that is a constellation of thousands of satellites orbiting the Earth. You've probably heard of it, Starlink. This project isn't just about giving people internet in remote areas. No, it's about creating a global connectivity backbone, a digital foundation that could support all of his other tech ventures, from self-driving cars that need constant data to future operations on Mars. Okay, this next one, this is maybe his most controversial and most straight out of science fiction idea yet, a plan to directly connect our brains to computers. So his company, Neuralink, is developing these implantable brain chips. The initial goal is medical, helping people with paralysis or other neurological problems. But the long-term vision? That's where things get really, really wild. We're talking about merging human consciousness with machine intelligence so we can keep up with advanced AI. And that really brings us to his ultimate goals. Because for him, this stuff isn't just about improving life on Earth. It's about making sure humanity even has a future at all. Take AI, for example. Musk co-founded the research lab OpenAI because he believes artificial intelligence is one of the most critical and yet potentially dangerous issues our species is facing. He really sees both sides of the coin here. On one hand, you've got this incredible potential for AI to solve our biggest problems. On the other, there's the existential risk of an apocalyptic future, a fear that comes straight out of the science fiction he read as a kid. His whole goal is to guide its development, making sure it benefits humanity without, escaping our control. And this brings us to his grandest and most famous ambition. It's a dream he's had since he was a boy making cardboard rockets in South Africa, making humanity a multi-planetary species. For Musk, this isn't some cool option. He sees it as an absolute necessity. The way he looks at it, staying on Earth is just waiting for some inevitable extinction event, whether it's an asteroid, a supervolcano, or something we do to ourselves. In his view, the only real insurance policy for humanity is to expand beyond our home planet. But this whole dream almost died before it even started. By 2008, after 3 crushing back-to-back failures, SpaceX was almost bankrupt. Musk poured every last cent he had into one final attempt. And it worked. That one successful launch led to a life-saving $1.5 billion contract from NASA, and well, the rest is history. And look, this isn't just about planting a flag and taking some cool photos. His actual stated goal is to build a permanent, self-sustaining civilization on Mars, a true backup for humanity, just in case something goes terribly wrong here on Earth. So after looking at all these 7 incredible world-altering ideas, from cars that learn to cities on Mars, you really have to ask yourself a fundamental question about the man behind them all. So, is he a visionary genius or a reckless provocateur? I guess history will be the judge. The only thing that's for sure is that he is betting everything he has on building the future. The real question is, what is that future going to look like?